Hello everybody, Ian Robson here. Welcome back to another edition of Coffee with Ian. It's a bit later today, sorry about that. Had to do some grocery shopping today, so food comes before recording videos usually in my books. Sorry. Anyways, a little bit's been going on, doing a lot of stuff on County Line. Really enjoying that map so far. We finally upgraded to a bigger plow on that map, which is kind of fun actually. I think we started off with a 3-meter plow, now we have a 10-meter plow. Although it's actually a cultivator. I think, I forget who pointed, I think it was Neil, who said that that plow I'm using on County Line is kind of cheaty a little bit, which I agree with him. It is kind of cheaty. It's like not actually a plow, it's a cultivator, so that's why it has such a low horsepower requirement. But I understand where he's coming from, so it depends on how realistic you want to be and how much time you want to spend on it. So I'm sure I could have easily have spent the extra time upgrading to an actual bigger plow, but in the end, I try to move relatively quickly in the series. Try, at least. Sometimes I get stuck on doing certain things. Like, I love harvesting, that's why I end up doing it like all the time. And I apologize for doing it all the time, it's just one of my favorite things to do, so just why I do it. Anyways, so yeah, we upgraded there, and we got the John Deere 9400, which is kind of some people have mentioned some interesting comments about that actually. Some people are saying, I never hate on mods because, the person was saying this there, they said they never hate on mods because they can't make them themselves, which is understandable. But I have a slightly different opinion. Like, yeah, I don't think I could do the same thing, but I think if I were to release something, I would try to put it, being the keywords here, try to make it as good as possible. So for example, like what Bob is doing with a map, like he's making with the Nagsea Valley, he's making, or Nagsea Valley, he's making new versions, upgrades all the time to try and make it better. So like I said last time, he's updated the BGA this time now, so it's got drive-through bunkers in it as opposed to the backing up style bunkers. What else did he add? He added the wood cell point, the wood chip cell point, stuff like that. So he's making an effort to make it as good as possible, and so far it's doing a really good job. One of the things that he managed to do recently actually was there was a whole bunch of errors related to like file names, and he actually managed to like fix them all. It was like 80 errors. They're just time consuming as far as I understand, but that's props to him for doing that, because if you see a map with no errors on a server, love it. It's not as easy as you would think though. It's kind of difficult, so he's doing a great job with that map. I'm really enjoying it. Everyone's really enjoying it actually. So we actually recently updated to the latest version actually, with the wood chip cell point and the BGA changes and whatnot. So this week on the live stream, which should be soon, there will be a new version of the same map. So we're starting over again. This is like the third time I think we're starting over on this map, so which is fine. We expected that when we were testing it, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, it's been kind of funny. Today actually, I have different earphones today. Let's see. I have these earphones today, which aren't my normal earphones, but my other earphones, I'm just fixing them. I'm just waiting for a part, or tool I should say, a soldering iron, because the wire broke apart from the speaker. So now I was only able to hear from one ear, and it was really frustrating, because then I could only hear, like, I felt like I could only hear one side. So when I was recording videos, it was really strange, because what was happening is I could only hear like part of the stereo side, and it was harder to detect whether it was too loud or too quiet. So I ordered a soldering iron online. I should have that next week sometime. So next week on the stream, I should have actually a new webcam as well. So that should be interesting. This webcam's like a 720p, and the new webcam's going to be a 1080p with some. Hopefully, it'll be a bit clearer, and my voice won't be. Hopefully, my voice won't be. What's the word I'm looking for? Delayed, I guess, in terms of the video. So like when I talk, I go 1, 2, 3. The video will show it, but then the audio is like not synced. So. Anyways, who knows? Maybe it'll be the same thing. Maybe it's OBS, but I was looking to get a new webcam anyways. So, what did I get in the end? A Logitech C920, which is a pretty standard streaming type webcam. So not too expensive. It was on sale. So for Father's Day, I'm not a father or anything like that, but doesn't mean you can't capitalize on the deals, right? Anyhow, what else has been going on? Nothing too crazy. One of the big games just came out recently that I've been keeping an eye on is Dirt 4. That recently came out, and that's like from the Codemasters guys. Those are the ones who did Dirt Rally, Dirt Grid. I think they did as well. A few other games, Colin McRae Rally. So the funny thing is it's actually getting like kind of really mixed reviews on Steam right now, so it's always interesting to see what people are saying about new games and see how they receive them. So I might pick it up, I might not. I might wait for it to go on sale. It's kind of an expensive game straight up. It's like 66 bucks. Canadian, that is. American, I don't know, $1 or something. No, I'm joking, obviously, but it's not that. It's cheaper in US dollars. But yeah, it should be interesting. I'm going to keep an eye on it, see what it's like. Might have to check out some videos of it, see whether it's something I might look into putting on the channel or not. So we'll see. Also, I need to record another Minecraft video. For some reason, I got distracted with Farm Sim, go figure, and just haven't got around to recording another Minecraft episode yet. No, I should do that soon, actually. Now that I think about it. So, anyways, yeah, probably soon would be a good idea. Anyways, also the two big DLCs came out for ETS and ATS, the heavy cargo packs. Both of them are like very different, which is awesome. Because what you kind of wonder about is, are they going to be similar because they're both heavy cargo packs? Not at all. They're very different. Like the rules in US, North America, I'll say, versus the rules in Europe are very different. Like United States, they have like additional axles to distribute the weight. I think it's like some people said, I think it's 34,000 pounds. I think it was. Shoot, I think it's what it was. 34,000 pounds per axle, I think it was. And it's different depending whether it's a load-bearing axle or a steering axle, stuff like that. So it's a bit different. And then in Europe, I don't know what the rules are for Europe, but people seem really pumped about the American one. And actually, it's actually really challenging. I was surprised. I don't know if you watched the last video that I did the other day in ATS, but to give you an idea as how difficult it can be. Like you're making like a left turn, and like if a car decides to like get into your way and get into your blind spot there, basically it's you have to wait for them to do something else. It's kind of ridiculous. So anyways, it made me laugh, but it's a lot of fun. That's challenging, especially when you have a truck that's a longer truck with like tri-axles and stuff like that. And someone pointed out a really interesting YouTuber. His name's Sergey. What's his last name? I forget what his last name is. It's like something with a G, I think. Anyways, he's a guy who trucks in North America and Canada, and he basically does only heavy hauls, it seems like. And really interesting to see some of the predicaments he gets himself into based on what he does. And I watched one of his videos. He was hauling a John Deere 400 series something. It was an excavator, really big. I think he said it was 93,000 pounds, something like that. Like it was pretty big. It was a pretty big load. And like the interesting thing was the fact that his trailer is like the ones you see in ATS, which is kind of cool. So, and also random other fact, I was at the bus stop the other day, and they were doing some construction, and they were taking I'm not sure what the vehicle was, but it's a vehicle for doing something to do with rail lines, and they were taking it off with a crane and putting it onto a trailer, and the trailer they had was just like the one they have in ATS, which I thought was super cool. So I was like, hey, I saw what it was in real life. Right? I saw one in a video game too now, so it was kind of neat. I don't know what the machine actually does. Like, where it is, it's like you drive up by the bus, and then they're like doing some stuff on the rail line there, and then you can't really walk over to talk to them really, so they're kind of busy. And usually you have to have like, safety boots or steel toe boots and like a hard hat and all that jazz. So they're not going to just let some pedestrian off the street walk up and start asking questions. So anyways, oh goodness, but it's cool. I really like the pack. If you haven't checked out the ATS heavy cargo pack and you like ATS, definitely recommend checking it out. It's not too expensive. I think it's like $5 American, or $5 Canadian actually. It was on sale for 10% off when it first came out. I don't know if it still is, but it was really cool. Really cool. Definitely worth checking out. ETS 1 and 2 as well. The funny thing is, I actually found ETS was actually pretty easy to drive around with those trailers because there's the steerable axles and all that. They just kind of go around the corner and it's not a problem. But with the ATS, it's not necessarily about going around corners. It's about the length of the trailer is a big issue because some of the trailers are so long because you have extra axles. Instead of only having like 2 in the back, you have sometimes like 3 or 4 sometimes depending on the trailer. I think that's what it is. Anyways, it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. Anyways, I guess I'll stop rambling there for now. My name's Iain Robson. I hope you enjoyed this coffee with Iain, and if you did, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and enjoy the coffee. Love my coffee.